Welcome to your PaGamO teaching console. The first thing you will see when you enter PaGamO for the first time is an empty teaching console with the menu bar on the left-hand side. First thing you should do is add a class. Enter a name and the number of students that you would like to add into the class and click Save. On the right-hand side, you will now see your unique class code that you need to give to your students in order for them to join your class, as well as the amount of students that have already joined your class, currently just 0. If you click on that number, you can also add more students to your class if necessary. If you add a new group, all you need to do is enter the group name and click Save. It's important that you always add groups. Even though you may put all of the students into the same group, you want to be sure to have the groups in order to later on assign the correct assignments to everybody. We now make a small jump. Let's look at what happens when students have joined your class. 7 right now out of 35 have joined the class. And if I click here, I can add more students if I want to, which doesn't seem necessary right now because the class is not even full yet. In the left-hand corner, I can navigate between different classes that I've created, 2 right now, and I see the students that are in my pre-algebra class listed underneath. The colored buttons show me whether a student has been grouped or not. If I need to group a student, I just drag and drop, and they end up in the appropriate group. It's important that you always create groups and have your students grouped in order to assign assignments for them. You can check the details by clicking on the button of a group, delete students from a group, or change the group name and just save that. You can always add a new group by just clicking the button, entering the group name, and saving that as well. You will always create an empty group, and then you can drag the students again by a drag and drop into that group. The groups are organized alphabetically, and note that there can be no empty groups. You can also search for your students with the search bar. If I want to find a particular student, I just enter their name and I will find the correct results. Something very useful in order to assign individualized curricula is the filters for performance and participation. Right now, all my students are very good, so all of them are in the 100% area, but I could filter the students via performance and then group them depending on their performance so that I can give them different assignments. Okay, let's take a look at how to create assignments in your PaGamO teaching console. You go to the assignment section to create a new assignment and you can enter a name and get started. Note that this interface is built so that on the left-hand side you can input information and then in the middle you can select your questions while the summary is shown on the right-hand side. So when you first want to create an assignment, you want to select which source you want to source the questions from. Which question bank do you want to choose from? Which subject do you want to use? Which chapters do you want to focus on? And then you can put your creation mode. So either you can do it manually and just select the questions manually, or you use auto, which is a very popular mode. So we're going to do that. When you use the auto mode, all you have to do is select how many questions of each difficulty level you would like to add to your assignment. The questions are already pre-selected according to the chapters you chose, and you can just select them and then have a look at them and save that to continue. When you're back in the assignment creation interface, you can always add more questions or get rid of some questions if you're not happy with the selection that the system made for you. On the right-hand side, the summary always shows you how many questions of each chapter, difficulty level, and question type you have in your assignment, so you get the right mix that you really want to assign to your students. When you click Save, you automatically jump to My Assignments, which is where you have to create your missions so that students can actually solve your assignments in the game interface. This is also where all your previous assignments are stored. When you create a mission, you just enter a mission name, a description, and the details for the mission, which include, for example, which reward to choose. When you choose the reward, you can pick whether, for example, to assign a monster and who is eligible to receive the reward for the mission. So you could say only students who get 80% or more correct will be eligible to receive the reward. Select the amount of rewards available and select the deadline of the assignment as well as the mission mode. Note that we have 3 different mission modes. The default mode will show the student the correct answer as well as the explanation to the correct answer after they have answered a question. Whilst the quiz mode will hide all of these things so that students, actually have a quiz experience and cannot say whether they got a question correctly or not. The self-study mode is a mix. It shows the explanation but not the correct answer to the student. Afterwards, just assign the mission, and here's where you can see why it's important to always have groups. You want to select the groups that you want to assign the assignment or mission to. Afterwards, you can see a short summary of your mission in your My Assignments list, as well as all the previous assignments you created for your students. Note that one assignment or one question set can definitely be assigned to several classes and can also be assigned in the form of several different missions. The final part of teaching is always grading. So you can go to your grading section in order to see how students have done. We've got a class overview as well as section analytics available. So you can see how the total completion rate of each assignment in the past few days or weeks has been. Each class has one color. Right now we just have one class, so we only see the orange bars, but if there were several classes, we could also see the statistics for each class separately. In the section analytics, we can go through all the assignments in any class and just look at how people have performed in those assignments. If we look at, for example, the Algebra 2 homework here, we can see the overall performance was only at 28%, and we can compare that to how the different topics were treated by the students. So we can see that definitely in terms of fractions, the students may still need some help and some repetition. The individual student statistics will be available soon.